guys, thank you so much for being friends with me. You know, I always could use some good friends. So, you know, alien abduction videos are a thing. So today I have two videos I want to watch with you. Alrighty? So let's start with the first video. Okay, and
this was one ordinary day. I was waiting for my husband to come home from work, and my two sons went to Cypher to school, and I was getting changed, and I heard this terrific noise. It was just like a giant cauldron of water being poured onto a fire, a shh sort of noise, you know. And my first reaction was, oh, the children. I thought maybe a plane was crashing or something like that. And I slipped my jumper on and went outside to find my two sons lying flat on the ground in the garden in front of the house, shouting, "Mummy, Mummy, there's a flying saucer." Well, naturally, I just said, "Come on, don't be stupid. Come in the house." But felt sort of a strange sensation. Wended my way up the side of the house to where we had a pump where we used to get all our water from, and automatically looked up to see this, all I can describe, this huge Mexican hut. It was stationary, this thing, and it was bright silver in colour, and it had a dome. It was tilted to sort of, I could see the occupants in it.
You saw people in it?
I saw people in it. There were two people in there. These people were beautiful people. That's the only way I can describe them. They had long golden hair, like a page boy bob, just like the old kings. You used to see photographs of the old kings. And the colour of the hair was golden. Now, I was really...
What were they dressed in?
They had a sort of a polo neck jumper affair, like a ski top suit, in pale blue. Now, these people weren't sat one behind the other. They were sat together, but this, whatever it was tilted so that I could see them and they could see me.
Were you looking at them through windows, through portholes?
No, not portholes. It was just sort of like a cockpit, I suppose, that had this perspex or glass or whatever it was. They could see me anyway, and I could see them. And they had beautiful faces. I shall never forget their faces as long as I live. Their foreheads seemed to be a bit larger than, you know, the bottom of their faces as normal people you would expect to see. But maybe this was just whatever they had round their heads, which was like a transparent fishbowl. And they just looked, and I was absolutely paralytic with fear. I couldn't move, although my mind was ticking over. And they looked so sympathetic that I was just mesmerized for what seemed to be, ages, but it could have only been seconds. And I turned to sort of look down at the boys, was unaware that they were with me because I was so absorbed. And the next thing, I looked up and it was gone.
How low had it been?
It had been the height, I couldn't tell you. But the house that you've seen, it was just on top of the roof. It was hovering on top of the roof.
How big was it compared with the size of the house?
It swallowed the whole circumference of the roof. I couldn't see. The roof was completely blotted out. The chimneys I couldn't see. All I could see was this massive object that I described as like a Mexican hat without the bubbles.
And then it flew away sideways or upwards?
No, I didn't see. I just looked up and it had gone. But I assume it went straight up, because for a short while after in the sky I looked around and I said to my two boys, "Where, can you see anything? Can you see anything?" And they said, "There it is, Mum," and they pointed up, and I watched it. It was just like a little cotton meal in the sky, and it circled us 3 times. It went round 3 times, and then it just shut off, and that was it. When I started to analyze myself afterwards, I feared that I might have had an hallucination, but then I knew I hadn't had, because my sons were so sure about what they'd seen and what I'd seen. And it went through my mind that it was a secret weapon from Russia, and then I thought, well, it can't be that, because if they had something like that, they wouldn't need to fear anybody or anything.
Were you scared by it? Did you run indoors?
Oh, I was petrified. I couldn't move. I couldn't move a muscle. I was paralyzed with fear. But now I wouldn't be. Because now, when I look back, I think, what an amazing thing to have happened, and for me to have seen it.
And when your husband came home, where were you?
Well, when my husband came home from the office, I was locked in the house with my children, under a big kitchen table that we were using.
Under the table?
Under the table, yes. It's funny now when I look back. It sounds absolutely ridiculous, but this is the truth. This happened. And that's it. We were ridiculed. It was very embarrassing at the time, and people, they possibly thought, oh, she's a nutter. But, who cares? This is something that's happened to me, and I'm a practically minded person, and that's it.
This was a great story. Honestly, I believe her. I believe her. People seem to think she's speaking of the Pleiadians. And it sounds like it because she described the golden hair and the jumpers, and that's what they always say that they wear. So it sounds like that's who she's seen. That's an awesome encounter. Let's listen to this, fellows. Okay, so I couldn't find part 1 or 2, so we're just gonna listen to part 3.
And I remember one of the beings just sat there by the table, just staring at me, and I could see their eyes. They were this large, circular, golden brown, speckled eyes. I mean, they didn't have like the sclera or whatever it is, the whites of our eyes that we normally do. It was just complete iris. It was complete. There was large black pupils just staring at me this whole time. And I remember this large insect, praying mantis looking thing comes around the table, grabs my head and turns it to the left, and then sticks a large needle into my neck behind my ear. And at that point, everything just went fuzzy. Everything just felt warm, fuzzy, and just like I was in a daze. And the next thing I know is I'm able to move again. And these smaller little beings, they grab me off the table and they lead me to an adjacent room. And in that room, they hand me a small black box, and they had me open the box, and inside the box, it just exploded in light. It was like an information download watching 1,000 movies play at once at like light speed. It was just memories, images of like mountains, stars, symbols, mathematical equations, to like flashes as images of like different memories of like just normal stuff, like walking down a roadway, walking up to a hill, just random stuff, maps, all random shit. And at that point, it brought me to a memory of my own past life, to where I saw my own family die in a car accident, walk up to my own house, and then I shot myself. And then that memory ended, and then once that ended, they took the box away and closed it. And then they led me back down that hallway that I was running down at the beginning, led me back into that large hangar type area, and then I was just in my room. And then they were laying me back down into my bed, and then they walked back to my window, and they turned around, and that telepathic voice again said, "We'll be seeing you again soon." And then that was it. Apparently it's all part of the plan, and they don't tell you what the plan is. It's just that you're a part of it. And I'm a science guy, I'm a spiritualist guy. I don't think that these things are angels, demons, or anything like that. I think they're people just like us, and I don't know what they want with us. And I remember...
So what are your thoughts on that? Honestly, all these abduction stories have like the same theme going on. So it's like, obviously, it's known that they're experimenting on us, and they're trying to create hybrids. I'm not sure what else they're trying to do. It seems like they're just trying to... I'm not sure what their plan is. Because even how they gave him that past life memory, like that is amazing. Like, I'm wondering what the big plan is. Like, what is the end goal here? That's super, super interesting. Super, super interesting. And these praying mantises, I find that so interesting because we have the smaller, teeny versions of them here on Earth. So I'm wondering if there's any connection there, and if the small ones, I don't know, like, are the small ones the same ones and they just go bigger, or are the small ones like, what's it called, like a spy, or there's no relation? Like, I'm wondering what's going on there. Like, there's so many questions that we should all, like, honestly, I'm the kind of person that, like, I'm going to find these answers. That's me. Like, I know when I did my past life regression session, I remember I asked, I was like, am I gonna meet the variations of me? And they said no. But I'm like, I'm gonna get to the bottom of something. One way or another, I'm gonna figure this out. So guys, tell me how you enjoyed this. I super enjoyed watching this with you. I thought this was so interesting. And thanks for being my friend and watching this with me. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Bye.
In the forest deep and green, fairies dance like shadows seen.